Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up is the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 7 Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, the Tommy Oliver figure that we have all wanted since the line began. Of course, Wave 1 gave us the awesome White Ranger, and now we have the true actual Green Ranger. We know that the previous Green Ranger figure that they released was not the Green Ranger that we know and love. It was the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger, which is similar, but is definitely not the same. It's the whole Disney thing, changed the suit and helmet for an episode during Dino Thunder. I don't know. It's complicated. You can look it up, Google it. There's some weird stuff going on there, but it is the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger and not the Green Ranger, which we now have, and an awesome new Tommy Oliver unhelmeted head sculpt with the green bandana, the evil Tommy Oliver Green Ranger. It is just, this is the figure, man. This is the one that we've been waiting for. Oh, I'm so excited. You know, if you would have asked me before, is it Green Ranger that you like more or White Ranger? And I probably would have said White Ranger, but subconsciously, I really meant Green Ranger because this figure is so much more exciting than the White Ranger. And this one was a really awesome figure. So I am so excited to now have this figure. Very, very exciting. Artwork looks awesome. I believe it's the same that was from the Fighting Spirit, just, you know, with the correct colors, of course, and you can see it wraps around. We get the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo there on the side. Same artwork on the back. On the other side, on the back, we get a look at the promo shot of the figure, which definitely, you know, it's a computer rendition because look how shiny that figure looks. And we know that these figures kind of all have a matte finish, so there's some weird things when they do for the box art, but it is what it is. Whatever. There it is. Let's open it up and take a look. And here's the Green Ranger figure out of the package. So exciting. Let's get right to it. Let's zoom in. Let's take a look at the accessories. That awesome Tommy Oliver unhelmeted head sculpt. We'll look at the Dragon Dagger, which we have seen before a couple of times. We'll take a look at the sword. Man, I don't remember what the sword was called. I'm gonna look that up. But this is the, you know, what really possessed the Green Ranger that made him evil. Once they destroyed the sword, his evilness was gone. Unless you go to the comics and the Lord Draken came about because he stayed evil. So we got that. So that's not new. We have this awesome effect piece, this green lightning effect piece. I have to look up. I think this one's reused as well. I will take a look at that, but that head sculpt, how awesome. Let's zoom in. Okay, so we'll start with the accessories. Here we have the green lightning effect. This is the same exact green lightning effect that came in the Fighting Spirit 2-pack, but as you can see, it is a much brighter neon green compared to a darker green, but it is the same. We also have the Dragon Dagger, as you can see here, which looks pretty good, except that's a lot of green in there, very little silver for the blade. Of course, we do get on the sides there, but when looking at it face front, it doesn't look as good. And when you compare it to the one that we got in the Fighting Spirit 2-pack, you can see that much more silver to the actual blade, but the new one does have brighter gold to it, so I will say that is better. As you can see there, much brighter gold or darker gold color. But looking at the silver, there's much more silver on the blade here, so I think this one looks better, even though the gold on this one is better. So the consistency is never there when it comes to Hasbro, unfortunately, but that does look pretty good. We also get the Sword of Darkness, as you can see here. This is the same that we had gotten previously in the 2-pack with the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger and the Putty pack. As you can see, it is the same, although, yep, the exact same. There's no change to it. We also get interchangeable hands, so I already switched out one of the hands, so he has an open holding right hand, so he can hold the dagger if he wanted. He has a fist for the left, and then the figure also has an open holding hand for the left, and then the dragon flute playing right hand, as you can see there. But the highlight is the Tommy Oliver, Jason David Frank, the Tommy Oliver head sculpt with the headband. How freaking awesome is that? Not that the previous Tommy Oliver head sculpts were bad. I mean, Zeo wasn't great, but definitely wasn't terrible. The ponytail head sculpt was really good, especially for a first outing. We had nothing to compare it to. This one, I think, really knocks it out of the park. Now, yes, it's not perfect. It does have its flaws, but I do see the likeness there, and I really see what they were going for. He, you know, he doesn't really look happy. He kind of has that evil grin to it. So I really, really like it. I think it came out great. The length of the hair and everything is the real highlight. You know, it was a little bit of a shorter haircut than he had later on. It just looks really good, and the bandana, as you can see, is just kind of floating. It is a separately glued on piece there, but just looks really, really good. I'm so happy with it. Thing is, I don't display any of my Ranger figures with these civilian heads, but it's great to have, especially if you're doing certain types of photography, things like that. And I know there's customizers out there that get whatever kind of civilian body and put these heads on there, so it works out great in that aspect, but just really nice to have, even if I never display it that way. Now let's take a look at the figure. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Green Ranger figure, and I don't know if it's just the viewfinder on my camera or how it's really coming out. The green looks pale through my camera, but in person the green does look really good. It's basically the same green as the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger, so there's no real worry there, but there are some very noticeable differences. Side by side you could really see them. So notice the mustard dragon shield on the Fighting Spirit 2-pack here on your left. The new one has an actual gold color to it, which is very nice, which matches the armbands, matches a little bit on the gloves, matches a little bit on the boots. So huge improvement there. Another one is, look, he has a neck. This figure has a neck. They improved that. Look how much higher it sits. That is awesome. The other thing, of course, is no silver on the top of the helmet. And then looking at the teeth of the dragon design around the visor, Fighting Spirit has white and with the silver teeth. The new one is all silver in there. I'm not sure actually which one is accurate. I think the all silver is accurate. Maybe the white is accurate to Fighting Spirit. I don't really remember that. I've only seen a clip once or twice. Not really a whole lot to really remember everything about it. So that is really good. Then, of course, we get the correct belt with the dragon dagger holster, black in color, and on his left side and not his right side in white color. The morpher is gold, not silver, as you can see there. It's hard to tell, but you can really see the power coin in there, but it is a gold morpher, so they got it right. And then the gold around the boots. One thing that I never really noticed, the paint of this gold on the Fighting Spirit 2-pack was absolutely horrible. Look, you can see the white still there. You should have hit another coat of that gold paint. It's definitely improved here and is not quite as thick. The same goes for on the gloves. You can see it's not as thick of a gold line around the end of the gloves there. But the rest of it is basically the same, but it is accurate to the show. It is a huge improvement, and I'm very excited for it. Let's zoom out and see how that articulation is, especially on the neck. Let's see how much he can move around. Actually, before going to the articulation, I can't believe I didn't pop on the Tommy Oliver head sculpt onto the figure so you could see how awesome it looks. God damn it, that looks really good. Oh, man. Oh, it's so good. I'm so happy with it. Oh, Tommy Oliver, our Green Ranger. Our evil Green Ranger. Let's just take a second and appreciate how good it looks. Because, man, kudos Hasbro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great job. Okay, now let's go on to the articulation. Okay, so for his articulation, it won't actually be any different to what we have seen in the past, because all the figures use the same bodies and everything. So here, look at that. He can look down. He can look... He can't really look up. That's as far up as he's going to look. But I still think it's better. It sits higher. It looks better on the neck. Look at that. You actually see some white around the collar for the neck. But he can't look up, which is unfortunate. So if you wanted him to look up at a monster that grows, you'd kind of have to lean his torso back a little bit so he can look up, which I guess doesn't look terrible, but it's not the best. You get the full rotation, of course. There's a tiny little bit of pivot going on in there. Arm can go up that high, which is great. You get a full rotation in there. Of course, there is the butterfly joint, so you can get the arm to go back that far. Getting crossbody, you can go a little bit, as you can see, forward there. There is the upper bicep swivel. You get a double jointed elbow, which gives you that much bend at the elbow. Wrists do swivel and they hinge as well. The diaphragm rocker, we can rock them and pivot to the side that much, pivot to the other side that much. Going back by itself is a little bit, going forward by itself is only a little bit, but when you work in that inverted ab crunch, you can get them to crunch forward all the way that far. Going back, you can get them to go back really, really far. So if you really wanted them to look up at like the Dragon Zord or a monster that grows, you can do something like that. Of course, there is no waist swivel, of course. So we have the diaphragm rocker, which could give you your twist action there. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that high. Whoops. He can go bad, doesn't really go back. You have an upper thigh cut there. You get a double jointed knee like so. You get a swivel at the boot, of course. Foot hinges down all the way. Hinge up tiny bit, but the foot does hit that boot cut there. You hit, you get ankle rocker pivot like so, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So typical range of motion for the Power Rangers. You get a little bit more in the neck because it does sit a little bit higher than the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger one. So voila. Now let's see some side-by-side comparisons. Okay, so here is the side-by-side of the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger and the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger. And now the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger could go along with the other Dino Thunder Rangers like he should. So that is great. So we'll kind of push him off to the side because we don't care about him nearly as much. We'll get rid of this. That'll be the next review. And we'll look at Green Ranger next to some other Rangers. Okay, and here we have Tommy Oliver's progression throughout some of the seasons of Power Rangers. We still need Red Turbo. That will then go here. And then we need Dino Thunder Black Ranger, which they are moving right along with Dino Thunder. We have the Dino Thunder White Ranger now. We have the Dino Thunder Red Ranger. We have the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger, if you still want to classify it that way, which it should. So I would imagine Blue is going to be coming soon, which I think Blue is actually in the next wave. Wave 8 rumored is Dino Thunder Blue Ranger. So then Yellow Ranger hopefully will be fairly soon. Who knows? We know Hasbro doesn't like to release Yellow Rangers all that much. In Space gets a pass, but like Beast Morphers, we never got a Yellow Ranger from Beast Morphers. What's up with that, right? The season's going to be over soon. That's got to be coming soon, but Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, Mighty Morphin White Ranger, Zeo Red Ranger. Which is your favorite amongst the three? I'm curious. You let me know down in the comments below, and I actually really mean what's your favorite between the two, because that's the debate, right? Which one are you, a Green Ranger guy or a White Ranger guy or gal? You guys let me know down in the comments below. Okay, and here we have Rita Repulsa next to Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, because Rita Repulsa creates the Green Ranger and makes him evil to destroy the Power Rangers, and we know how that always has worked out for her. Okay, and here is the whole team. I'm not going to do the group shot because they always start falling over and I just get all pissed and everything. But here is the group together. This is the true Mighty Morphin Power Rangers team with, of course, the 6th Ranger, Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, not the Fighting Spirit as a stand-in. This is the true complete team. Now, you can have different variations of the team without the Green Ranger, right? That is a complete team. Or if you already have, likely already had the White Ranger, that is actually a complete team. So the Black Rangers really kind of filled that out, but now having the Green Ranger, we have the true 6th Ranger in Season 1, I think a little bit of Season 2 as well. So there is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I am just so excited to have them all together. It's just, so exciting. Okay, so my final thoughts on the figure. I absolutely love it. This is hands down easily my favorite Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection figure so far to date, and I think it's going to be extremely difficult to top this figure. Now, that's going to be a lot of bias, and I'll be openly honest about that. Tommy Oliver was always my favorite Ranger. It was up in the air, back and forth between White Ranger, Green Ranger. Now, truly in my heart, having this figure now in hand, in my possession, it really, really is my favorite Ranger of all time. I remember as a little kid, loving the Power Rangers show, loving the toys, going into a Toys R Us in San Jose, California, off of Winchester. If you guys know, in the Bay Area, that Toys R Us, it's no longer there, but I remember going into that store as a little kid, seeing the box set that had the Dragon Zord and the Green Ranger figure in the bundle set, and just being like, oh my god, I have to have it. And my mom ended up buying it like later that day or something. I don't remember the real specifics. I was super young. You know, that was shit almost 30 years ago. But man, I just... I absolutely loved it, and I just remember it, and it was my favorite toy at the time. So having this Green Ranger just really means a lot to me. It brings back so much nostalgia factor. Everything about this figure I absolutely love. Now, I didn't mention this before because I forgot to mention it. I was thinking back when I did the Lightning podcast, the Lightning Collective podcast. So a link in the video description below if you want to hear kind of my early thoughts on the wave before I even had any of them in hand. I'll include a link in the video description description below. Shout out to Callum. Follow him on Instagram as well at Lightning Collection. So I'll have that in the video description below. Please check him out. Listen to that podcast. His new guest is actually Zane, the Silver Ranger from Power Rangers in Space. So check it out. He's got a lot of awesome guests, great conversations and everything. So the only complaint that I do have about this is that they did not paint the white diamond under there. Now, that's a complaint for some. It's not actually a complaint for me because I don't really care. He's not going to be taking the dragon shield off at any time. Yes, they did do it with the Fighting Green Spirit one, but again, he's not going to take it off. Now, yes, in the show, he was shown without the shield and just having the green suit. So if you wanted to use the Fighting Spirit one to do that, you could. Would it have been cool to have? Yeah, sure. For me personally, it doesn't bother me because I will never have that shield off. But yes, it definitely would have been cool. And let's be honest here, folks. Hasbro is going to really release this Green Ranger at some point. Maybe they will add in that white diamond later on. We shall see. But you guys, let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts on this figure. If you've gotten it already, what do you think of it? If you don't have it yet, how excited are you? In this video, if you guys liked it, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to receive a notification when all my new videos go up. And as always, everyone, thank you for watching.